Hey guys, I'm coming at you today with a brand new video. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do a review on a local brewery. And a little bit of backstory here. If you're not familiar with my other channel, I run another channel called Hiking the Haunts, which it goes into going around to various haunted locations and exploring different types of folklore. So not long ago, I discovered that there is a local brewery, and that's their name, is Folklore. So I thought, well, how appropriate. That's kind of what I do. So I wanted to check out some of their products. First of all, I'm not a big beer guy. I like beer, but I don't drink beer very often. I'm more of a bourbon kind of guy. But I do enjoy beer. But I tell you all that to say that I am not some hipster microbrew type expert. I'm just a common guy, just like most of the people I imagine will watch this video. So I'm not some expert beer connoisseur. I enjoy a good beer. I like to try a lot of different things. But being that there is a local brewery in Dothan, why not give it a shot? Also, this will be a completely fair and impartial review, meaning that I do not know anyone associated with Folklore Brewery. I'm not endorsed by them. I've never talked or communicated with anybody involved with their brewery. So this is completely fair and impartial. Also, I have tried some of these products before. This is not my first time tasting all of their products. I have had some of them before. I've got several different types of their products here. There is one that was unavailable. There was one that when I went to the store, they did not have any more. They weren't stocked anyway, and that is this Front Porch Pale Ale. This is just an empty can right here that I just so happen to still have. I had some the other day. It was pretty good, and I'll tell you about that here in a second. But we're going to give them all a try, and I will let you know what I think about them. Again, this is coming from just a novice. Not that it's my first time around a beer, but I'm no big-time connoisseur or anything like that. The first thing that I'm going to try is this Grateful Red. As you can see, it kind of resembles the 1960s and 70s psychedelic rock band and their imagery. I'm going to go ahead and open the rest of the cans. We'll go ahead and get that out of the way. So, Grateful Red. It doesn't really give you any kind of a descriptor on here other than that it's an American Amber Ale. It says a Grateful Red Ale, a Grateful German American Red Ale brewed with German Munich malt and a balanced hop profile for a smooth malty finish. Over the ages, mankind has told folklore tales through song. We find inspiration for our beer and music. We dedicate this beer to the original folk singers of our time and musicians everywhere. We put music in every beer because we are truly grateful. And it does point out on the can here that I believe all of their products are 6% alcohol by volume, so a little bit stronger than most of your average beer. But let's give it a go. That's good. That's good. It's I don't know the way to describe it other than it's a flavorful beer. Not particularly strong or robust, but it just has some flavor. What I'd like to refer to as personality. I think it's got some personality, and I enjoy that. that is quite good. I will point out that these particular cans that I have here are very cold. Now, I have tried this one before, but it did taste different because the one downside that I see to Folklore is that their cans, this is not a painted can. This is it has a plastic label, a very thin plastic label that's wrapped around it. And it seems to me that I believe that kind of interferes with its ability to achieve or retain coldness, because the ones that I had before, they sat in the refrigerator for a long time, and you could even touch the outside and it didn't really feel very cold. Well, these I put in the freezer for a while and they were very cold, and I must say that this is a lot better when it's very cold than just cool. And that's not to say that it was bad when it was just at a cool temperature, but it's very, very good and smooth when it's cold. So that's the Grateful Red. I'm going to set that down and try a different one. I think next I'll go with this, it's called Snipe Hunt, and this is an India Pale Ale. I'll find the descriptor on this. This is, wow, this one's very strong. This is a 7.5% alcohol content, so that's pretty strong. Let's see, Snipe Hunt IPA. An India Pale Ale with German and West Coast influence, brewed to a complex malt-forward IBA with a layering of hops and finished with earth, pine, citrus, and grapefruit aromas. Snipe hunting is an age-old tradition that has been handed down from generations past. The sacred hunt of the elusive Alabama snipe involves a wamping stick, gunny sack, and the traditional native call, "Here, snipe, snipe, snipe." So if you're familiar with snipe hunting, that's basically the gist of it and where the name comes from. Interesting can and label. All right. The Snipe Hunt tastes very similar, although I only have the empty can here for show. Tastes very similar to the Front Porch Pale Ale. It definitely has, like the label says, it definitely has the citrus and grapefruit aromas. I believe that one major difference that I would say is that this one does have a more of a grapefruit taste to it, whereas the Front Porch Pale Ale, I have not read the descriptor on here, so before I read that, I'll tell you what it tastes like to me. The Front Porch Pale Ale had quite a pineapple flavor to it. Let's see what this says. The Front Porch Pale Ale, a smooth American pale ale brewed with German malt and West Coast hops for a crisp, refreshing finish. The front porch is where we enjoy picking and grinning in the cool night air. Settle in with a glass of the brewmaster's favorite on your own front porch. It's best enjoyed with friends. Doesn't really tell you anything about the too much about the aromas or flavor to it. But one key difference here also is the Front Porch Pale Ale is 6.8%. is a 6% alcohol by volume, similar to the Grateful Red, whereas the Snipe Hunt Pale Ale was 7.5%. So that is your stronger beer, alcohol-wise. The taste is rather similar. As a matter of fact, I would say that this has more of a robust taste to it. You really get that pineapple-y type flavor, whatever that is, but it tastes like pineapple to me. Um, that definitely, I think their descriptor is pretty dead on here. I'm not really picking up the pine so much, but it does have kind of an earthy flavor to it with citrus and grapefruit. Um, that pretty much covers both of the pale ale here. I'm gonna try the Wiregrass wheat. This is an American wheat ale. Okay, now this is the weakest alcohol content of the ones that I've had so far, but it is still 5.5% alcohol, so that's still stronger than most of your common domestic beers. And the descriptor on here says Wiregrass wheat ale. By the way, side note, if you're not from the area and you're not familiar with the phrase wiregrass, the wiregrass area is an area that covers southwest Georgia, southeast Alabama, and parts of northwest Florida. It's just a regional area. I believe it goes up north of Colquitt, Georgia, over to Montgomery, and then south to like Holmes and Washington County, Florida. Pretty large area, but it's called wiregrass for a specific type of grass that grows in the area. That's where the name comes from. Anyway, the Wiregrass Wheat Ale, an American wheat ale brewed with German toasted caramel malt and hopped for a smooth, clean finish. Wiregrass is the name of a native grass that is rarely seen today, but once grew abundantly in our area. The Wiregrass area refers to the southeast corner of Alabama where Florida and Georgia meet. Okay, so that pretty much sums up. Although it's not, they say the southeast corner of Alabama, but it also covers southwest Georgia and northwest Florida. Anyway, Wiregrass wheat. Wiregrass wheat tastes I'd say that it tastes most like your more common and popular beer type flavor that most people would be most accustomed to. Um, I like it. I like it a lot. Very smooth, but yeah, that tastes the most like what more people are more familiar with, more common flavor of beer. There's not any real distinct personality of a particular flavor or anything like that. It just tastes like a good beer. The best way I can describe that one. I like that a lot. That one might be my favorite. Not that any of them are bad. They're all pretty good, depending on what you like in particular. But I like that very much. I like the Grateful Red. The Pale Ale is it's very similar to some of the more common seasonal breweries, uh, like Blue Moon comes to mind. Um, It's very good for what it is, if that's your thing. Um, when it comes to beer, I like more of a just the beer flavor. Um, not that it's bad. It's actually pretty good. But I'm not one for the more of the stronger fruity type flavors in the beer. But it is good. I could definitely. Um, for example, I've had an entire. I've had a 6 pack of this of the Front Porch Pale Ale, the one that I said tasted a lot like pineapple, and obviously finished the whole 6 pack. So it was still very good. But I do believe that Grateful Red and Wiregrass Wheat are my favorites. All right, we're at the last thing here, and this is the one that I'm a little bit nervous about, to be honest with you, because this is called Showcaster Porter, a rich chocolate coffee porter. I'm not sure if that's really my thing or not, but we're about to try it and find out. This says this one is 7.5% alcohol by volume. Shadowcaster Porter, a robust porter brewed with English dark malts for a smooth, rich chocolate and coffee flavor. The Huey helicopter is a legendary American icon and serves as a reminder of the role of Fort Rucker as home to the best rotary wing pilots in the world. This brew is a tip of the hat to the men and women of the armed forces that continue to cast shadows worldwide. Okay, I can definitely appreciate that. As you can see from the hat, I did my time with the Navy, and I also served in the Army National Guard. Did 4 years with each. But yes, Fort Rucker is right outside Dothan, and it is the home of Army Aviation. So I guess that they made this in honor of troops at Fort Rucker. I can definitely drink to that. That looks like coffee. That's dark. Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. It might be it might could grow on me. It might be an acquired taste kind of thing, but it literally tastes exactly like what it is. It tastes like beer with coffee and chocolate mixed in. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but being that it is Veterans Day, drink one for the troops, huh? Let me give it one more try. All right. I think I'm leaning toward the conclusion that I do enjoy a good beer. I enjoy coffee on occasion, and I enjoy chocolate. But I'm not really sure that I like the three of those things combined together. I kind of don't think that Shadowcaster Porter is for me. Um, you may like it. But yeah, I'm not really feeling it. Um, to me, it's one of those things that it's drinkable. but it's certainly not one of the things that I'd go out of my way for, or if it was on a shelf or rack or in the cooler at the supermarket, along with any of these others, that would not be my go-to. Um, yeah, again, I'm not trying to trash it or anything like that. It's not my thing. So I'm going to stick with these. Again, with the Grateful Red, I really like that. That's good stuff. Wiregrass wheat. Grateful Red is more flavorful than the Wiregrass wheat. Um, Wiregrass wheat is smoother. That's not to say that Grateful Red is harsh by any stretch of the imagination. They're both good. And the Snipe Hunt, that's definitely got some flavor to it. Very much with the grapefruit. You can really taste that. Now, between the Pale Ale, which one would I say that I preferred better between Snipe Hunt and Front Porch Pale Ale? That's a tough call for me. Like I said, my memory of the Front Porch Pale Ale, which I just drank a few days ago, like I said, it had a very robust pineapple-y type taste to it. Probably more robust than the Snipe Hunt. But I still think I can get behind the pineapple a little bit more than the grapefruit. That's kind of a toss-up. Pros and cons between the two. So if you like the seasonal type beers, then these pale ales would be where you want to go. I can see these as being very comparable. And I think the packaging, the labels even kind of reflect it. That, to me, the Front Porch Pale Ale would be more like a summer type beer. And I think Snipe Hunt would be more like a fall type beer, cold weather. So, okay, overall, what do I think of Folklore Brewing and Meadery? I honestly think they've got a really good thing going. I really do. I may have my preferences on which ones that I like the best. Alright, I'm kind of excluding this one here. I'm sorry, but that one's just not really my thing. But as for the beer, the actual beers, you really can't go wrong. I enjoyed all of them. I don't know if they have any more flavors. These are the 5 that I've seen in local stores. But I think they're all winners, and I think that they're all good for what they are. I'm going to swap these out and put the pale ale together. And these are, I think that these would probably be the more popular styles of beer. Those would be more for, I don't know, a niche flavoring, a niche type of taste. But again, I got no problem drinking it. It's good. That is good stuff. between these two, which one's my favorite? It's kind of a toss-up. It would probably depend on my particular mood or what I was craving at that particular moment, but I really think the Wiregrass wheat might be my favorite, but Grateful Red is really good too. Every bit of it's good, and just talking about personal preference here. I'm gonna give one more shot on the Shadowcaster Porter. Yeah, that's not my thing. I know that there have been some drinks in the last decade or so that have gotten into the mixture between alcohol and caffeine that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It's like when you need to get perked up, but you also need to kind of chill out at the same time. I don't know, probably not the best thing for your heart, but I think I'm going to stick with coffee when I want coffee and beer when I want beer, and not mix the two. Maybe you'll like it though. Don't knock it, because everything else they make is really good. I don't know if they have other flavors available, but these are the ones that are available at the local grocery store and supermarket. I got these at some of these I got at Publix in Dothan, but they also had some at Piggly Wiggly. So they're at various grocery stores. Now, I don't know how well of an area they have gained as part of their market, so I don't know where all it's available at yet. It may just be very, very locally or regionally. I really don't know the answer to that. You would have to check with them. They do have a restaurant in Dothan. They're at their brewery. I have not been there. I haven't seen it. But I do know that a lot of people go there and have a good time. So that will be on my to-do list to visit there here sometime shortly in the near future. But no, I've not been there yet, and I don't know exactly where all it's available outside of the local Dothan area. But I'd say for sure check them out. And again, that's with no bias. I think that a lot of people, especially the hipster microbrew snobs, you want your local brewery or one particular brewery to be the big undiscovered gem or secret or whatever. And this is coming with no bias whatsoever. It's actually legit good stuff. I'm a little bit surprised at how high the alcohol content is, because most beer that you find is between, I think, 4.6% and 5%, and no more, unless you're looking at some really crazy high alcohol content that tastes like garbage, like Steel Reserve or something like that. So yeah, their alcohol content is a little bit higher than most domestic beers that you find, most mass-produced domestic beers anyway, but not to the point where it's strong or hard to drink or anything like that. It's really good. Again, I'm no beer expert, more of a bourbon guy, but I find it very enjoyable, and I'm probably going to sit here and finish off the Wiregrass wheat, maybe the Grateful Red. Hell, maybe the pit's not hell, maybe the Snipe Plant too. We'll see. But I'm pretty sure I'm not going to finish off the Shadowcaster Porter. Not my thing. But anyway, hey, I'd say Folklore Brewing and Meadery, it's a good thing. If anybody is watching that has anything to do with the brewery, Keep it up. Good job. I will definitely be coming by. I want to check out the restaurant, and I very much like what you've got available so far. So, cheers.